Alright guys, today we're going to take a closer look at the Honor 400 Pro's cameras, what it can do and all that. It's actually pretty impressive for a mid-range device. It comes with the next-gen imaging, AI imaging stuff with a lot of new AI features, and of course it also comes with a pretty impressive set of sensors at the back, a triple camera setup which I will talk a bit about later on. So I think we should start off with the next-gen AI stuff because it's actually quite cool. Naturally, you know that we already have the AI eraser to erase your stuff. You also have your AI outpainting, your AI upscale, your hardcore studio filters and all that. But a brand new one to hit the Honor 400 Pro is actually the AI image to video. Now this is actually pretty impressive because from just one still photo, you can actually convert it into a moving image or a video. It's actually only up to 5 seconds in terms of its length, but things that you can do is just really unimaginable. So I actually did a couple of tests here, as you can see on your screens. Just putting myself standing on the road, I can actually make myself move around, make myself dance and all that, and it's actually pretty cool. I actually found something that actually made an even more nostalgic kind of video, and that's actually if you go and dig back into your older photos. Say for example, you find a photo that's shot maybe during the 90s. Now what you can do here is actually upscale it, AI upscale, to actually get in more resolution so you have a higher res picture, and then you go into AI outpainting so you have a larger, wider kind of photo, and then you actually put it into AI image to video and make a very nostalgic video come out of it. Now I think this is actually super impressive because more than often I actually think about the past, what has actually happened back then, what could this scene possibly be, and with the AI image to video, it's actually super realistic in terms of the movements and everything, and that's partially because Honor actually worked with Google Cloud. They're actually one of the first to actually push this out, and everything just looks so real. And this actually is so much more fun compared to just editing your photos. I think Honor is actually moving one step further in making all these pictures fun again. And yeah, if you want to use the photos from the phone itself, you can also do that too. Now speaking about photos coming off the phone itself, what do we actually have here at the back? Now we do have a 200 megapixel main sensor. It's a 1/1.4 inch unit that makes it larger than its last gen. Furthermore, it also comes with both OIS and EIS, so everything is going to be really stable regardless of you taking pictures at night or maybe just taking a couple of sample videos. Now moving on, we also have here a 50 megapixel telephoto lens that comes with OIS and EIS as well. Again, this is stabilized and you can actually have some pretty nice zoom shots from 15 to 50 times. I would say the sweet spot is below 10 times, but I'll show you a couple of samples later on as well. Last but not least, we have a 12 megapixel ultra wide that also pairs up as a macro lens, and this again gives you a different kind of perspective into the kind of images you want to shoot. Alright guys, so just looking at a couple of the photos coming from the Honor 400 Pro, I got a couple of points put down here actually. I noticed that pictures taken during the day comes out very clean. It looks less processed than before, which is a good thing. And the telephoto's white balance is actually very close to that of the main sensor, which again is great. That's not something that a lot of phones can do. Now speaking of the telephoto, the 50 megapixel telephoto with OIS is doing a pretty decent job. A quick side-by-side with my S25 shows that the Honor does a better job at keeping in more details. It's slightly more contrast and pops a little more, which makes it more pleasing to my eye. Of course, you can also tune it depending on your liking. There's 3 options available in the Honor 400 Pro, and you can actually have a toned down look if you prefer to have it that way. Now moving over to low light, I actually tested it out in a theme park and noticed that the sensor was actually quick enough to prevent motion blur. Other than that, in terms of normal low light photos, it was able to produce pictures with minimal noise. It had a very good control of the environment's rather challenging lighting conditions, and the ultra wide shots actually turned out quite well. It was quite surprising to me here, honestly. Now finally, of course, portrait is also something that's super important, and the hardcore portrait mode also remains here. This actually allows you to take more aesthetic portraits. Right now you have more filters to use from, so if you want a different kind of look, you can also do that. And just one small thing that I want to highlight here is that the skin smoothing in portrait mode might be a little too much for my liking, but I do know some people actually like this kind of look. Anyways, you can also tone it down in these settings. Now at the end of the day, my first impressions for the cameras of the Honor 400 Pro here is that it's definitely punching above its mid-range kind of grade. Not only are you getting that flexibility in terms of your editing, making everything more fun again with those AI features. Again, if you actually stack up all those AI features that I mentioned earlier on, you can actually produce something that's pretty unimaginable before this. Furthermore, in terms of the sensors at the back, it's actually great to see that the main sensor as well as the telephoto comes with those OIS for better stabilization. The white balance between the two lenses lenses are also very similar, which is also a great thing. And yeah, I think I'll just be testing it more and I'll provide you more details in the full review. But for now, things are looking positive. If you also want me to do a comparison with maybe say the S25, also let me know down below. Regardless, I hope today's video has helped you out to know more a bit about the Honor 400 Pro. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Thank you for staying with me. See you on in the next one. Bye bye.